ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरु देवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Anjali, can you start reading?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
40.
Okay. Aikya Jnana Phalam, benefits of the knowledge of oneness. Okay. Jiva Muktaha, liberated individual. We now move on to the fifth and final topic of Tattvabodha, which deals with the Aikya Jnana Phalam. In this section, the author addresses the question, what will I get out of this knowledge? The author continues. Somebody else want to read this one before I butcher it too much, or I'll try. Evam cha Vedanta vakyaihi
I will try. I will try, Anjanaji.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
एवं च
Evam.
ओके एवं च वेदान्तवाक्यैः सद्गुरुपदेशेन च सर्वेष्वपि भूतेषु येषां ब्रह्मबुद्धिरुत्पन्ना ते जीवन्मुक्तः इत्यर्थः. Continue now.
The author says that this knowledge is highly beneficial. It is highly practical. It can bring about revolutionary change in our approach to life. In everything that we do, there will be a change of perspective, and this benefit is called moksha, and muktihi. So the result of this knowledge born out of the study is moksha. The author also, in an implied manner, prescribes the mode of undertaking this study. He advises us to never undertake an independent self-study. Self-study will not work in Vedanta. Not only it may not work, it may prove to be counterproductive also. Therefore, this knowledge has to be gained with the help of Shastras and Guru, scriptures and scriptural master to guide you. This is what he means when he says Vedanta Vaikahi. With the help of the Vedantic statements, especially Vedanta Mahavakyaha. How do you say Vakayahi? Tattvamasi is Vakyehi. Okay, Vakyehi. Tattvamasi is one example. There are others like Aham Brahmamsi, Prajnanam Brahma, I am Atma Brahma, Sa Yascha Yam Paruse, Yascha Vedit She Ekaha. Hundreds and thousands of Mahavakyams are there. So the author says that making use of those scriptural statements and Sadguru Padesena with the help of systematic teaching of a Sadguru. The author himself has developed this topic systematically, starting from Sarira Trayam, etc. This is a systematic Vedantic study. The systematic study is here called Upadeshaha. It is not like a mantra initiation. That is called Upadesha. It is not like a mantra initiation. That is also called Upadeshaha. It is a one-time and 2-minute job. 2 minutes. That is initiation into a mantra for regular repetition for the purification of the mind. Here the word Upadeshaha has different connotation. It means systematic study imparted by a Sadguru, the one who has an effective method of communication, the one who is a master in communicating in an appropriate way. In the scriptures and tradition, the method of teaching is discussed very elaborately. Imparting this knowledge is like feeding the baby, which a mother knows. She does not put a huge ball of food in the baby's mouth. She starts with a small portion only, and then slowly increases the quantity. There is a prescribed method to feed the child. This methodology is called sampradayaha. That is why the
Sampradaya.
sampradaha. That is why the scriptures, the Sadguru is defined also as Sampradaha Daya Dayaha
Sampradaya.
Dayavit Sampradayavit, the one who has the skill of communication, the methodology of transferring this knowledge, this difficult knowledge. So with the help of Guru and Shastras, Sarvesh Vapi Bhutesu Brahma Buddhi Hiru Tapana Buddhihi in this context means jnanam, i.e. knowledge. Utpanaha means has arisen or has come. So knowledge comes through Guru Shastra Upadeshaha. And the knowledge referred to here is the Brahma Buddhihi, the knowledge of Brahman or Atman, which means the original consciousness. We can find the original consciousness in Sarveshu Ape Bhuteshu, in every medium, in my body, in your body, and in an ant's body, in a plant, in an animal, etc. Of course, the distorted versions will be different from depending upon the respective upadhis, but we know that the distortions are only incidental, caused by the medium. If we set aside the medium, the original is the same. The author says that the one who has understood this truth, this reality, in whom this Brahma Jnanam has emerged, the one who has managed to assimilate and actualize this truth is called Jivan Mukta, liberated person. He will be liberated even while living in this world, in this very world. Mukta means liberated, and Jivan means while living. We need to understand as to what is the liberation that is being talked about. Liberated from what? We know that at present the I in us is the original consciousness, but temporarily manifesting in this reflecting medium in a distorted form. After a few years, the reflecting medium will perish, and along with it, the distorted reflection will perish. But even when these reflected consciousness, RC, and reflected medium, RM, perish, I, the original consciousness, OC, will continue to exist eternally. It is like sleep. During sleep, we do not transact through the body medium, but we very much exist. Similarly, in death, also the RC, the reflected consciousness, may end, the transaction may end, but we are immortal, and so we will continue to exist. The greatest fear of human being is the fear of mortality, and therefore the greatest freedom is the freedom from the fear of mortality. Freedom from the sense of insecurity. All of us suffer from a high sense of instinctive insecurity. Even as children, we were instinctively clinging to our mothers, or at least their saris. When we grow old, we try to cling to our children. When we are sick and immobile, we don't want them to go out even for a day. We say to them, I don't know when I will die, and so be always by my side. It is this sense of insecurity which expresses itself in the form of all emotional problems. This insecurity is the seed of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, moha, lobha, mada, matsarya, asuya, and all these are different versions of one fundamental problem, which is insecurity. We struggle to earn money. We cling to money and wealth because we think that money and wealth will give us security. And why do we need security from money? Because we feel that because we feel that we by ourselves are insecure and therefore we need money. We hold on to power, position, house, relationship, all for the same reason. Bhayam or fear is driving the humanity. Therefore, freedom is muktihi, which means freedom from the sense of insecurity and the consequent ramifications, all put together in a single word called samsaraha. Samsaraha. So mukti or moksha means samsara nivrittihi. The interesting aspect is that instinctively nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to be erased from the earth. This is called survival instinct. There is always the desire for immortality, which is instinctive. Once we understand and assimilate the fact that the death of the reflecting medium, that is our body, and that our reflecting consciousness does not mean that we cease to exist, we will be fully liberated from the sense of insecurity which endlessly keeps haunting us. So when we gain the jnanam, this knowledge of the self, Jivan Mukti, is the result. This liberation can be gained in this very life itself. It is not something that we get after death. And since the liberation can be enjoyed even while living, it is called Jivan Mukti. One who enjoys Jivan Mukti, he is called Jivan Muktaha, a liberated person. Having heard the teacher define Jivan Mukti, Jivan Mukta, the student wants to know more about this Jivan Mukta and the type of type of life of such a person. This is important for us to know because only then we can decide whether to become Jivan Muktaha or not. We want to find out whether it is worthwhile proposition, whether it is a worthwhile proposition. So the student asked this question on our behalf.
Okay, I think Hemant ji can continue.
Okay. ना Nanu Jivan Muktaha Kaha. But who is a Jivan Muktaha or a liberated person? The teacher defines. Yata Dehoham Purushoham Brahmanoham Shudroham Shudroham Asmiti Drudhaniश्चयस्तथा नाहं ब्राह्मणः न शूद्रः न पुरुषः किन्तु असङ्गः सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः प्रकाशरूपः सर्वान्तर्यामी चिदाकाश रूपोऽस्मीति दृढनिश्चयरूपो अपरोक्षज्ञानवान् Jivan Muktaha. The Guru's detailed answer is summed up in 3 words at the end of the sentence. Aparoksha Gnanavan Jivan Muktaha. A person who has gained self-knowledge is a liberated person. Jivan Muktaha. The main characteristic of a liberated person is self-knowledge. And self-knowledge is called Aparoksha Gnanam. This is a technical word used only for defining the self-knowledge. In the Shastras, knowledge is normally divided into 3 types. First is the knowledge of an object, which is far away from us and which is not available for direct experience. This is beyond the range of our experience. For example, we have a knowledge of existence of different galaxies in the universe, but we cannot experience them directly. This knowledge is called indirect knowledge. In Sanskrit, the term used is Paroksha Gnanam. The second type of knowledge is the knowledge of an object which is available right in front of us and we can have a direct experience of that object. This knowledge is called Pratyaksha Gnanam. Both Pratyaksha Gnanam and Paroksha Gnanam refer to the knowledge of an object only. The difference is only in the proximity or remoteness of the objects of experience. Self-knowledge does not fall under either of the above categories because I, self, I am not an object at all. It is neither an approximate object nor a remote object. I am not the object but the very subject, the knower. Self-knowledge is therefore called aparoksha gnanam. We should never say direct experience of the self. The direct experience can be only of an object nearby. So a Jivan Mukta is one who has got aparoksha gnanam, self-knowledge, and this knowledge he has is Druda Nishchaya Rupaha, free from all form of doubt, in the form of a firm conviction. Druda means firm, Nishchayaha means conviction. So this knowledge refers to a firm conviction about oneself. And what is the firm conviction? Totally convinced that Ham Satchinananda Swarupaha. I am of the nature of Sat Chit and Ananda. We have already discussed this topic in a previous chapter. So this knowledge, which is held with firm conviction, and is that I am of the nature of limitless existence, consciousness, and superlative happiness. The nature of this Satchidananda is asangaha. Though it pervades the body-mind complex, it is not attached to it. We need to remind ourselves that if all the pervading consciousness is connected with the body-mind complex, when the body perishes, the consciousness will also perish. But since it is not attached and is independent of the body-mind complex, even at the death of the body, the Atma continues to exist. And this uncorrected or unattached nature is called Asanga Swarupaha. The author continues, I, the Atma, am Sarvantaryami, the consciousness present in every body, just as the electricity is normally present in every electrical gadget. Similarly, everybody is blessed by the Atma Chaitanya. The bodies are many, but Atma is one, and therefore it is called Sarvantaryami. Antaryami means inherent, like a thread which is behind every bead of a garland. The beads of the garland are visible, but the thread which holds all the bodies together is invisible. Atma is like the invisible thread, and every one of us is like a bead. The thread is inside each of the bead, but is not attached to the bead. The thread is one, the thread is one, but the beads are many. So the properties of the thread are somewhat similar to Atma. That is, it is invisible inside every bead, holds all beads together, and though it pervades all the beads, it is unattached to the beads. This is a good example to understand this concept. There are two more examples to understand this concept of Atma. One example is Akashaha. Some of you might have heard about Chidambara Rahasyam, a famous temple of Lord Shiva situated in Chidambaram town in South India. This temple is supposed to hold a secret, and the secret is that the temple does not have a deity. In place of deity, there is empty space. The significance is that Lord Shiva is worshipped there as the space principle. So, first example is Akasha. The second example is Prakasha, the light principle. Like the Surya Prakasha, the sunlight which envelops or pervades the entire earth. Here, the reference is not to the solar disk which is far away. The reference here is to the sunlight, which is not only spread or pervades over the earth but every nook and corner of the solar system. The Atma can therefore be compared to the Akasha and Prakasha because of the certain common attributes. Both Akasha and Prakasha are formless. Space is formless. Light is formless. Atma is also formless consciousness. Second common feature is that the space is divisionless. Space cannot be cut by with a knife or otherwise divided. Similarly, light also cannot be divided. And in the same way, Atma, the consciousness, also cannot be divided. Thirdly, the Akasha space cannot be polluted by any dirt object. Air can be polluted, but not the Akasha. so it is blotless, blemishless. In the same way, even though the light or prakasha spreads over every object, the dirt of the object cannot contaminate the light. So prakasha is also blemishless. Similarly, Atma, the consciousness, is also blemishless. Next, Akasha does not have a boundary. Every object has a boundary dimension, but Akasha is boundless or limitless. Likewise, Surya Prakasha, the light, is also not bound or limited by any object. It goes beyond every object. It even goes beyond this earth. In the same way, the Atma is also boundless or limitless. And finally, Akasha, even though it's associated with every object, it is not connected to any object. It is it is associated with all but not connected to anyone. Similarly, the light is also associated with every object. Light is on our body, but it is not connected to our body. If it were so, when we go, the light will go with us. We will never be in dark place. And not only that, when we walk off a place, the light with, with the light with us, that place will become dark till someone else walks in that place with light. So because of its unconnected nature, light remains in the place even when we go away. The nature of the Atma is also the same. Even when our body perishes, the Atma continues to remain and exist. Thus, formless, Nirakaraha, divisionless, Nirvikalpaha, blemishless, Nirmalaha, limitless, Nissimaha, and finally, uh, connectionless, Nisangaha. Such is the nature of the Atma. A Gnani has assimilated this true nature of the Atma. As a Gnani, he does not say, I am the body. He only says, I temporarily use the body. I am only the user of the body and I am not the body. And therefore, the author says, Naham Brahmanaha. If we understand that we are not the body, we cannot say that I am a Brahmin, or I am a Kshatriya, or I am a Vaishya, or I am a Shudra, because they are division all based on the body-mind complex. Atma, the consciousness, is Varna Atitaha, beyond all this classification. So there is no superiority complex that one is Brahmin, and because of same logic, there is no inferiority complex that one is a Shudra. The body-based consciousness, caste-based consciousness all drop off. The next is Na-Purusha, gender-based complex or gender discrimination. The word Purusha means men but includes three women also. There is neither superiority nor inferiority based upon the gender. Gender identity is also dropped. And how firm is this knowledge in a Gnani? Data implies that this knowledge in a Gnani is as firm as 1 minute. Is as firm as the knowledge of an ignorant person with regard to himself. The ignorant person has a firm knowledge that he is either a Brahmin or Kshatriya, etc., or a Purusha or Stri. Just as an ignorant person has a firm wrong knowledge about himself, the wise person has a firm right knowledge. Therefore, the author says, by the way of an example, Yatha, like an ignorant person who says Dehaha Aham, I am the body, Purushaha Aham, I am a male, Brahmanaha Aham, I am a Brahmin, Shudraha Aham, Aham, I am a Shudra, iti Drudha Nishchayaha, such a strong but wrong conviction and misconception an Agnani has, the Gnani has the same strong conviction about him being Satchit Ananda Swarupaha Prakashaha Rupaha Sarvantaryami Chidakasha Rupaha Asmi iti. So strong is the knowledge of the Gnani with regard to his real nature. By using the Drudha Nishchaya, that is conviction, the author wants to emphasize this knowledge of it's a spontaneous knowledge and never forgotten by the Gnani at any time. When one is growing old, the body identification becomes stronger. Worry or concern about the death becomes stronger. Concern about the children becomes stronger. And it is at those times that the Gnani is aware of the fact that this body is only an incidental medium. It has to arrive, grow, and finally it has to go. And because of this objectivity, he does not have an obsession either with his own physical body or with the physical bodies of his near and dear ones. He also accepts the fact of the temporary nature of the body. He does not look upon old age as tragedy. He does not look upon death as a tragedy. He looks upon them as the most natural events which have to be accepted as they are. And because of this convention, the Gnani attains moksha or freedom or liberation. We have already equated moksha as the fivefold benefits in the introductory chapter. It will be worthwhile to briefly revise this and remind ourselves of the benefits of this context. Jignasaha nivrittihi, satisfaction of natural curiosity. The satisfaction of the natural curiosity, quenching the thirst, finding an answer to the mysteries of life and to the question about oneself. Who am I? From where do I come? Where do I go? Why am I born? What is God? Is there a God? So, if so, where does He exist? What is the world? Who created it? How was it created? There are innumerable questions regarding oneself, God, and the world. All those questions and mysteries are cracked. Mystery is a pain for the intellect. Intellect cannot withstand mystery. It cannot withstand ignorance. Therefore, it is an instinctive curiosity to know answers up to all these questions. That curiosity is quenched by gaining self-knowledge. This is intellectual satisfaction. Vidyananda praptihi, gaining knowledge, gaining knowledge-driven happiness. The self-knowledge which teaches us that we exist eternally gives us total satisfaction. As we assimilate this knowledge more and more, the sense of insecurity goes away. The sense of fear goes away. In fact, all emotional problems are based on this fear. When all of them go away, we enjoy inner peace, which in turn leads to superlative happiness, which is called Vidyanandaha. Kar- Karpanya Nivrittihi, freedom from desperation. This is also called para, para, Paratantra Nivrittim. Once we discover Anandaha in this knowledge, we no longer need to depend on the external source of happiness. External pressure become a bonus. So we have no desperate dependence on the external source of happiness. They also serve as a standby, just like the backup power supply we have for computer installations. With this backup in place, there is no desperate dependence on the main power supply. So with the self-knowledge, the desperate craving for external pressures go away. Adyata nivrutti, agata nivrutti, freedom from shock, trauma. This self-knowledge is a great shock absorber. It gives us such an emotional cushion and an emotional insulation that no problem in life will give us a shock. We have the Gnana Kavacham, the shield of knowledge. The worst of the tragedies we can receive and react with great resemblance of mind. We will learn to consider all such shocks as disturbances and carry on with life. Thus, self-knowledge gives us freedom from shock and trauma inflicted on us by people, events, and experiences. Dakshata praptihi, gaining efficiency. This knowledge also leads to an increase in our efficiency in our day-to-day life. Due to the fact that we do not have a desperate dependence and since we are free from the shocks of life, our mind is generally relaxed and calm. And this very calmness increases our efficiency. If a disturbing experience takes place, we take it in our own sight and do not brood over it. We are able to set aside such events to fully apply our mind and efforts to task at hand. This focused approach is a must for the efficient completion of any undertaking. And this is the fifth benefit of self-knowledge. These fivefold benefits put together is called moksha. This is called Jivan Mukti because it happens when one is alive. So a Gnani obtains these benefits or Aikya Gnana Phalam while living. But the next question would be what will
I
happen
needed
to
to
such?
say.
Yeah,
Okay. But the next question would be, what will happen to such a person at the time of death? The author deals with this question also. ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि इति अपरोक्षज्ञानेन निखिलकर्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्तः स्यात्. The author says, Aparokshajnanena, by the sheer power of self-knowledge, the Brahma eva aham, I am Brahman alone, not the temporary falling body, not the temporary walking mind, not the temporary confused intellect. I am Brahman, the limitless consciousness. By this sheer knowledge, we have to add Marana Kale, that is at the time of death, because that is the question being answered here. Nikhila karma bandha vinirmukta syat. Nikhila means entire or all. Vinirmukta means free from. So Jivan Mukta becomes free from all the karma, which are referred to as bandha, shackles. Thus the jnani will become free from all the shackles called karma. Otherwise can be loosely translated as good deeds and bad deeds. From this, the author is also hinting that at the time of an Ajnani is dead, he is not freed from all karma. Because when the author says that at the time of death, Ajnani is free from all from Punya Bhavams, he implies that an Ajnani at the time of his death is not free from Punya Bhavams. Jnani alone is totally free. Let us understand the implication of this statement. We have to remember that punya bhavans, or otherwise called as karmas, are responsible for evil. At the time of death, a jnani is free from all karmas. Therefore, for a jnani, otherwise called Jivan Mukta, will not have punarjanma or rebirth. That means he will not take another body. He is free from assuming a new body. And this freedom from a new body is called Videha. It means free from, V means free from, without. Deha means refers to next body or new body. Videha means freedom from a new body, freedom from Punarjanma. So Jnani, while living, is a Jivan Mukta, and after death he becomes Videha Mukta. This is the benefit of Jnana. And this freedom from another human birth, this Videha Mukti, is essence of, in essence, a merger into Lord. Freedom from individuality, a merger into totality. When river merges into ocean, it loses its individuality as river, but it continues to survive as one. The total ocean. This cessation of individuality is Videha Mukti. It is the merger of microcosm and microcosm with the macrocosm. The acquisition of the totality is called Ishvara Prapti. Now, author has introduced a new word karma in this sentence. This is another technical word from Vedantic standpoint. The dictionary meaning of karma is any action. That is why we earlier referred to hands and legs as karmendriyam, organs meant for karma or action. But here the word karma does not mean action, but it refers to punya bhava. This is very important teaching unique to the Vedas, unique to our Hindu scripture. The author therefore feels that he needs to explain the law of karma or principle of karma, which he does in the next chapter. Law of karma. What does the law of karma say? It says that every action that a person does will produce two types of results called karma phala. One result is of action is the visible result, which we can see and experience directly. In Sanskrit, it is called drishta, which is purely based on physical action we do. Drishta means that which can be seen. But we know that behind every action which, which is visible, there is an invisible motive also. This motive also will produce a result which has to be invisible, because the invisible motive will have to produce a proportional result which is invisible. This invisible result is called Adrashtapalam. So Adrashtapalam is one result and Adrashtapalam is second result of any action. And since the results of any action can be positive or negative, Adrishtapalam can be either positive or negative. Positive Adrishtapalam is called Punya and the negative Adrishtapalam is called Papa. Depending upon our motive or intention for every action we do, we gather Punya or Papa. For example, suppose I am walking on the road which has no footpath and I am walking almost on the edge of the road. It is a busy road. Vehicles are moving up and down. Suppose all of a sudden I feel a push from behind. Someone has pushed me. I fall down and get injured. Naturally, my first reaction would be anger. I will be very angry with that someone who had pushed me and caused pain to me. So I get up and look angrily behind to see who had pushed me. Just as I turn my head, I see a huge transport bus running past me very closely, by missing hitting me by a hair's breadth. As I faced the person who had pushed me, he says that the bus was coming so close to you and was about to hit you. So, in order to save you, I had to push you. I'm so extremely sorry. So, what will be my reaction? This is bound to be there is a bound there is bound to be a change in my attitude. It will turn from one of anger to one of gratitude. Now what has happened to my injury? The Drishtapalam, the visible result. The injury remaining the same, pain remaining the same, the action is approved, admired and thanked. In the normal course of harming person, another person would have been harmed. But in this particular case, even though the person has caused the injury, he would certainly call it punya. This punya he begets from the basis main motive which was to save me from being hit by a bus. He never had any motive of to cause injury. Thus, behind every action, there is invisible motive which is responsible for punya papa phala. And this punyam and papam, which are the adrushta phalam, get accumulated in the name of jiva. This is like in debits and credits which get accumulated in one's bank account. This punya and later converted into visible happy and unhappy experiences. Punyam gets converted into favorable experiences and papam gets converted into unfavorable experiences. And thus every punyam and papam is an invisible seed of future pleasure and pain. To put this in Sanskrit, adrishta punyam sukham dadati, adrishta papam dukkham dadati. Now, the next question that will arise is how long do this punyam and papam take to get converted into pleasure and how long will the seed take to fructify into sukham and dukkha? The scriptures point out that this period is not uniform, just as all types of seeds do not take the same amount of time to become a tree or fructify. A papaya seed will quickly grow into a tree, and we can get papaya in a fruit in a short time. Whereas mango or coconut seeds may perhaps take years to grow, years to grow into a tree and give up the fruit. Perhaps the benefit will not accrue in the present generation, but only to the next generation. Thus, the duration of fructification fructification will vary from seed to seed. Some of them may be, some of them may fructify tomorrow. Some of them may fructify next week, next month, next year, next decade, next century, etc. And some punya bhava may not fructify in this janma. This is because any seed has to fructify requires a favorable atmosphere. A seed can grow into a plant only when the soil is proper, water is available, temperature is appropriate, and the elevation of land is proper, etc. So, therefore, some punya and bhava may not fructify in this birth. They will remain in the potential form. Therefore, they will require another birth for fructification. And bhava earned and accumulated in several births are called sanchita karma, just as savings account in banks. We have punya and papa also, the balances gathered gathered in past lives and brought forward to this life. These are sanchita karma, means accumulated. Now suppose out of sanchita karma, sanchita or accumulated karma portion gets the present life. They have completed their gestation period, like the maturity of various fixed deposits over different periods of time. Similarly, the different fixed deposits of punya and papa mature at different times, but a bunch of sanchita karma which is mature and ready to fructify in the present birth is called prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means maturing sanchita karma, fructifying sanchita karma. And this prarabdha karma alone decides what type of body we should get in the present birth. If it is a punya prarabdha, the body will be very favorable body, irrespective of whether it is a plant body, an animal body, or human body. This is decided not sanchita karma but by prarabdha karma. Even it is to be a human body, the prarabdha karma determines whether it should be a male or female. Further, even after gender selection, whether it should be a healthy one or have some congenital disease is again determined by fructifying prarabdha. Not only that, this prarabdha alone determines the parentage, the place of birth, whether we born in a rich family or poor family, etc. Even the duration of life is controlled by this prarabdha. It is not uncommon for us to sometimes have experience for which we have not worked for. Whenever we work for something and achieve, we are not surprised. But at times we get experiences, a certain condition for which we know that we have not worked for at all. If it is a favorable condition, we may call it good luck, and if it is an unfavorable condition, we could call it bad luck. Whatever comes to us without our working for this job of prarabdha is the job of prarabdha. And while we are exhausting the prarabdha, reaping the sukha and dukkha experiences, we keep on doing karma. These present actions that we are doing now will also produce fresh punyam and papam. And this freshly acquired punya papam in this birth, this freshly augmented and replenished punya papam is called agami karma. Agami means the punya papam which is acquired in this janma, in this birth. And agami punya papam itself. But the other agamis will not fructify because the conditions are not conducive of fructification. This unfructified agami will continue to remain in our form, and at the time of the death of the body get added to the sanchita karma value. Thus we will exhaust our prarabdha karma and a part of our agami karma. When prarabdha and fructified part of the agami are exhausted, the body falls. This is because the very purpose of the body is exhaustion of these karmas. Once prarabdha and agami and a part of agami end, the body falls. The other part of agami which could not rectify at the time of death will join sanjita bandhu. And out of this pool sanchita, another bunch of karmas get ready for purification. The next fixed deposit matures. Which karmas are ready to mature and which are one are not, we can never say. It is unpredictable, but it is definitely that all karmas will eventually fructify. The next bunch of prarabdha gives another body, and in that body, those prarabdha gets exhausted. And during the process of exhaustion, we replenish the stock with fresh karmas. Again, a part will go to Sanchitam, and again we have another birth. This is This is what the scriptures mean when they say Punarapi Jananam Punarapi Maranam. In this manner, these karmas will get exhausted, replenished, and again replenished and exhausted. This cycle goes on and on. This is the lot of an ordinary Ajnani or samsari. He is caught in this vicious cycle, and this is called the law of karma. Now, next logical question is what will Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agami accumulated, fructifying, and arriving being of a Jnani? The author answers this question in the final part of the text. You will see later. The essence of the answer is that all that he exhausted at the end of all the three are exhausted at the end of a Jnani's life. His account will show nil balance. So his file will be closed. So he has no more karma to be left to be exhausted. He does not have a rebirth. But before he discusses this subject, the author wants to explain types and nature of karmas. We should remember that the author had referred to this word karma in his previous sentence. He continues. Karma, karmani katividani sanchiti iti agami agami.
Can we
Okay,
stop here?
yeah, we can. Should be able to.
Should we discuss anything
Yeah,
before we move on? Because we've been reading a lot.
yeah, yeah. It mostly explains everything because the three types of karmas, Agami, Sanjit, and Prarabdha have been explained. Agami would be the current karmas that we do and for which a part of which will be exhausted in current life itself, and what will get uh, in future lives. So that is called Sanjita. And the karmas from previous life or present life that we are exhausting presently are called Prarabdha. But in that, yeah, nothing more questions. If you have any statements or sorry, if you have any something to say, reflect please.
I was just looking at when the first part, what I was reading was that the Jivan Mukti and the Jivan Mukta, it was basically trying to get us to see that we can live a free life in this birth with right choices or better choices, but the rest of it goes on to whatever is written for you, whatever type of karma there is.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
yeah, Jivan Mukti, we can, the jnana can give us Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti will be in this life, and the Vijaya Mukti will be after the death. And that is like with the death and destruction of this physical body, the Sukshma Sharira will be merged with the Samashti. So, and there will be no Karma Sharira will be destroyed on the Jnana itself.
we kind of have to learn to live with our prarabdhas then, basically, in dealing with those.
Yeah, that maturity should be that maturity we can gain from one Viveka. We discussed the discrimination between this uh, yeah, discrimination between the real and not unreal as though real. The, that discrimination we should have, and um, with that, I think, yeah, and that plus this karma yoga buddhi, whatever we are experiences, that is because of our own karma, and so that knowledge we need to have, and our own karma, and we when we in karma yoga we submit all our karma, surrender all our karmas to the Ishvara. And whatever results from that karma, we accept as Ishvara Prasadam, something given by Ishvara. So whatever, whether we consider it favorable or unfavorable, we take it wholeheartedly as the something given to us by Ishvara. So that karma yoga buddhi we should have. With that, we can earn the maturity for the maturity required for this knowledge. We have read all this in sadhana chadishta in the beginning. So I think we can proceed. Okay, Hari.